XRP is on the verge of achieving its goal. It is only a matter of time before spot exchange-traded funds, ETFs, are approved. The CEO of Evernorth and their intentions for XRP are the subjects of a significant amount of recently released material. In addition, we have a plethora of recent information regarding the listings on the DTCC. Regarding stablecoins, we will also be receiving input from BlackRock. Brad Garlinghouse, who is the CEO of XRP, was observed seated next to Bo Hines at a large dinner party. The dinner was attended by the most powerful individuals in the United States and was focused on the topics of cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. Can you tell me what that is regarding? Let's just go straight to the point and start with Ashish Birla, the CEO of Evernorth, and Tony Edwards, shall we? You brought up the subject of the demand for XRP. There are a number of spot ETF files that have been spotted by us that are still waiting for the Securities and Exchange Commission to take action. You also had the XRP futures go live on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, among other things. In addition, there has been a great deal of demand from institutions. Therefore, I believe that it is like great time that you are starting this digital asset treasury company focused on XRP because of how things have changed. In other words, you are aware of the fact that, as you may have expected, the SEC Ripple lawsuit has come to an end after many years of going back and forth, but you are also aware of the fact that the sun is now shining down on us, the dark clouds have dissipated, and there is a great deal of demand for this asset. Tony, there is no doubt about it. This certainly does feel like a new beginning. It clearly gives the impression that we, as a collective, entered into this profession as newborns. At this point in time, we are, as you are aware, coming of age, and I am pleased to be a member of the mature movement that is taking place in the realm of digital assets. And one of the components of that adult movement is convincing institutions to accept. I do not believe that cryptocurrencies will be able to thrive unless there is widespread adoption by the institutions that exist in the world. I do not believe this ecosystem will be able to accomplish that. And once more, Evernote is a single instrument that makes it simpler for institutions to adopt blockchain technology, which in turn makes it simpler for them to participate in the cryptocurrency economy and the financial future that will be constructed on blockchains. However, there will be a need for additional tools as well. Although we discussed regulation and the appropriate form of laws, we are in need of additional instruments in that area. CME futures, trading XRP, and ETFs are all excellent tools. Once again, all of these elements are a part of the process of growing up that the entire industry is currently taking part in. I am grateful for this, and also, this has taken an unexpected and strange direction. We have all transitioned from being infants to being adults, and we are now all adults. It is important to note that I'm not quite sure about what's happening here, but pay attention. I'm here to let you know that we have these digital asset treasuries that are beginning to grow in the XRP sector. That is placing pressure on other businesses, banks, institutions, corporations, and whatever else you want to name them in order to compel them to implement something that is quite similar to their own approaches to XRP and other digital assets, which will in and of itself be a booming business. You begin to throw in the institutional demand for exchange-traded funds, which will give a great deal of liquidity and will decrease the amount of supply that is in circulation. Once you take into consideration the decentralized finance layers that are being developed on top of the XRP ledger, the EVM sidechain, and the FA, ladies and gentlemen, that is the moment for which we are all eagerly anticipating. When a significant amount of demand begins simultaneously, when regulation arrives, and when the asset begins to be utilized to its fullest potential, what occurs? All of these issues are reaching a critical point at the same time. Sensei, you are now asking me what I believe the future price of XRP will be. I am aware that the price will not be the same in a month, in a year, or in 5 years. I can assure you that once we reach that utility point, all of the speculation will be resolved. Therefore, I am attempting to gather as much XRP as I can. If it continues to go down and there is another crash, I will continue to purchase it until we reach a place where I think, at this point, perhaps I should buy something else. I will continue to provide my assistance to the XRP community. This is the largest holding of an asset class that I have. I am also filled with anticipation for what is ahead for me. And for your own sake, in the future, absolutely, without a doubt, I have just learned that you all intend to purchase XRP by raising $1 billion. Of course, is that something with a cap, or perhaps at some point in the future you will be able to raise more capital? Who are the individuals that have contributed to the capital up to this point? Yes, that is a really valid question indeed. we will continue to be active in that area, as you are aware, absolutely. As far as I am aware, there are no plans in place to cease operations. After the acquisition has been closed, we will, like we have done in the past, seek for more opportunities. However, the concept is to avoid reaching $1 billion in treasury, if you catch my drift. I am also pleased, Tony, to have the backing of investors who are recognized as being among the best in the world. And the one thing that we definitely want to accomplish is to grow our operations on a global scale. You are probably aware that XRP is extremely popular in both Korea and Japan, and the fact that SBI is participating in Evernote's financing can potentially assist us in unlocking those Asian markets as well. Therefore, the Evernote team will provide a high level of importance to that deal, which is looking to those types of expansion chances and has been closed after the fact. Once more, we are really fortunate to possess. We are accompanied on our voyage by investors who are considered to be among the best in the world, such as those from SBI, Ripple, Arrington, XRP Capital, and a number of other companies. It seems as though they are planning to increase their presence in further markets. South Korea has been mentioned, as has Japan. I would assume that it will be a list of other nations. They made the statement that they would not stop at 1 billion. I would expect that this may reach the numbers 5 or 10. It is my belief that there are no boundaries or limits to what they are attempting to do. I believe that demand for XRP is likely to increase as a result of this. Now, we are going to take a detour and come back to this point. The Thorpe 8A was submitted along with the Canary XRP ETF. Canary submitted a request for an XRP ETF numbered 8.8A yesterday night. This indicates that the launch will take place either tomorrow or on Thursday. For its launch, it will become accessible in the morning of Thursday. And just here it is, coming from Alexis Cherkia, who serves as the chairman of Ripple-backed Yellow Network, stated in an email sent to VS that the recent price increase of XRP was motivated by the news that numerous issuers of spot XRP exchange-traded funds are actively preparing for an immediate launch, which would be characterized by the element of the Securities and Exchange Commission's delaying language in S1 filings and the listing of up to 9 potential XRP tickers by the DTCC. Investors are attempting to capitalize on the event. Therefore, individuals are making an attempt to enter at this moment. I am in a position to inform you that my mother has recently purchased some XRP. Is there any truth to the claim? Would you agree? Mother, you deserve a shout out. I love you, DBS Bank, in addition to Ripple. There is a significant transition taking place in this situation. A tokenized framework for interbank deposits is being developed by DBS and JP Morgan. It is a mystery to you as to how Ripple could possibly be implicated in this situation. My only intention was to obtain some supplementary information. The participation of DBS Bank DBS is partnering directly with significant entities such as JP Morgan to tokenize interbank deposits, and it is also participating in groups of financial institutions that are working with Ripple. Ripple's standards and technology are considered as being trustworthy, and they are viewed as a fantastic solution for payments and the tokenization of assets all around the globe, as evidenced by the level of institutional engagement that has been deepened. The endeavor to establish Ripple as an institution